Hello, hello. So while we're settling in the interest of time, I will just tell you a little bit about what we're doing up here today. While Fernando, the brilliant playwright who's brought this to life, is up in the sound booth being awesome. So my name is Megan. I'm the executive director of both this festival and the nonprofit that it feeds into, One Book, One New Orleans. One Book, One New Orleans, and I will not give you everything we do because that would even be 10 minutes of their time. But what One Book, One New Orleans says is we pick one book and we encourage everyone in the city to read the same book at the same time, with the idea that we're going to grow stronger as a city through a shared reading experience. But when we do that, we have to recognize that approximately 27% of the adults in our city struggle with illiteracy every day or access to books. So if we're going to be One Book, One New Orleans, we have to make sure that 27% isn't left out. So we develop a curriculum around the book, and we get the book and the curriculum free of charge for adult ed programs. It's being used right now in 7 different adult ed programs across the city to teach adults to read. We get the book into carceral facilities for both juveniles and adults, and these past 2 years we've also been able to get the book's author inside of the Orleans Parish Jail to do a book club and meet and greet with the people being held there. We get the book into the ears of the blind and print handicap through a partnership with WRVH Reading Radio. And last but not least, through a partnership with the New Orleans Public Library, we make sure the book is available for free in your neighborhood by giving each branch about 4 copies. And how do we, after we do all this outreach, bring folks together? We go around the city to different neighborhoods and we hold events inspired by the book. And you are at one of those events right now because the book this year is Black Creole Chronicles by Mona Lisa Saloy. Woo! She's right here in the audience. I can promise you. Oh, I can see a lot of you if I do this. That's cool. And I know that book is for sale out there in the bookstore. The play you're about to see is based on a poem in this book called Seventh Ward Tony. If Fernando is close by, I could either hand this mic to him and let him talk about it, or if he's not, I will just hand this mic back to Jen and let them roll. Seventh Ward Tony, y'all. Thank you.
Welcome to the reading of Clean, Pressed, and Creased, 7th Ward Tony, a stage adaptation of Mona Lisa Saloy's poem from Black Creole Chronicles, So Fresh, So Clean. I'm Jen Pagan, and I'll be reading the stage directions.
Hi, I'm Casey Sims, and I'll be reading for Tony.
Hi, I'm Alexandria Miles. I'll be reading for Mona Lisa.
The characters in the play, Mona Lisa wants to write, preserve lineage, find peace for her family, see her brother find success and happiness, connect her writing to the texture of the fabric of her upbringing and neighborhood. She is 16 at the start of the play. Shimmering and glittering, a Black Creole woman, and no longer apologetic about it, if she ever truly was, with dreams for the city. Maybe not for what New Orleans can do, but for how it can feel. Warm as well as hot, adorned with love and not just with wrought iron, an intellectual, a bookworm, an athlete, and a dreamer. Tony wants to uphold a tradition of being clean, pressed, and creased, so fresh and clean as Outcast puts it. Protect sis and mother, one-up daddy and serve the country, dance, provide for family, and never stop. He is 19 at the start of the play. The thing about always being clean and pressed is that if that's your standard, then being average feels like chaos. So he definitely is not average, but what's his breaking point? A proud Black Creole man, also a Vietnam War vet, expert gumbo chef, baseballer, ladies man, dancer, construction project manager, builder, and grounded. The setting, the 7th Ward throughout the decades of a family's becoming. Scene 1, mother passes. Bro and sis disagree about the way things should be and have been. Typical and simple kitchen, table with chairs, sink in the rear, maybe a cabinet. Their mother passed away, and they sit across the kitchen table, mourning, talking. Tony is lamenting that he didn't get to say goodbye to his mother. He was at a baseball game and missed the moment. Mona Lisa is trying to comfort him.
You can't beat yourself up about it.
Should have been there.
Mother's illness was sudden. No one could have guessed this.
It's just, if I had known it was going to be the last time, I would have bought flowers or something.
Anthony, look at me. It's not your fault you had baseball.
It just seems pointless now.
But y'all won?
Yes.
You should be so proud of you. Winning all city your senior year?
Sis, I didn't get to say goodbye.
What are you so worried about goodbye for? Goodbye is like cigar smoke. You see it disappear in the air and then smell it on Daddy's coat when you go to throw it in the wash.
What you mean?
Oh, Tony will love you.
Mona Lisa Saloy, don't call me that. Not tonight.
He's wiping a tear. Mona Lisa is being too sentimental. He can't deal with her warmth and the no more mother pool.
I just mean we have enough memories with Mother to last us until it's time for us to say goodbye.
Always with the poetic song.
Well, maybe one day I'll be a poet. What about you, bruh? What you gonna do with yourself?
I don't know.
Come on. I know who you are. You're Anthony Lewis, my Tony. Tony Maroney Baloney. Thank you, Wilson Pickett. You're Tony of the 7th Ward, my big bro.
I just wish I could have said bye.
Anthony, you're not some sad sack.
Our mother is dead, Mona Lisa. No more home-cooked meals from her. No more family walks in the quarter. No more good galette or salads. No more of her wrapping family Christmas presents as though they were expensive goods. Each bowl a kiss. She can be at church, the K&B, in the living room, listening to the radio. None of that.
But she had a good life. Don't forget that.
I'm not, but
But enough tears, dude.
I'm not crying.
What was the score again?
15-3, Cloud.
There he is.
Tonight ain't about me, though.
Right. It's about a beautiful woman that Daddy loved, that her brothers loved, her sisters loved, all our neighbors loved, that we loved, who could crochet, could sew aprons or clothes covers, or drapes and curtains, or ties, or dresses.
Curtain shoes, bouquets, the cover furniture, and cook the best gumbo on Sundays. It's all we could do the same. Pan meat, don't forget about pan chops.
Why is it gumbo for Sundays? I mean, I could eat it every night of the week.
Well, Daddy worked Friday nights.
God, I used to love our little family walks in the quarter on the weekend. You always look so fresh, but something about walking around in that less than pristine environment made you sparkle.
Thanks. But, you know, I used to iron my gym shorts, right? Isn't that over you?
No, but for you, there's no such thing as too pressed and fresh. You are Daddy's son of a World War II sergeant who believed in being starched and pressed, just like a newly made pants. I just mean that by contrast, you almost put me and Mother to shame walking down Canal Street, or cruising Mississippi on the ferry.
Those are good times. A happy family. The three of us when Daddy was catching up with working, fellas after work.
Yeah. Hey, how come Daddy never joined us?
You serious?
Yeah, the man could walk, couldn't he?
Yeah, walk his ass to the corner bar, the Fox, and any old dive in the neighborhood.
Yeah, but all the hard-working craftsmen in the neighborhood went to the Fox. The painters, plasterers, metal workers, carpenters like Daddy. You don't mean.
Mona Lisa, he would get so drunk after work only on Fridays. That mother didn't even want us in the 7th Ward, let alone our house Friday nights.
Quit playing.
Mona Lisa, wake up,
I'm not trading.
says the bookworm.
You're being for real.
Mother used to carry on like nothing was wrong.
You remember how much she would walk around the city, all over New Orleans, saving bus fare for us? She got buku steps in before the Fitbit was even invented.
God bless me. Making groceries once, twice, 3 times a week.
And that woman could save. God, she could find a deal.
I still have those discount records from the
Oh,
Dryad Street Negro
Shopping Center. You know, that's where she got the fabric for all our school uniforms and Daddy's khakis. She wanted you to be proud of your crisp lines and pressed pants.
I didn't care about the name.
Sometimes we think we fuzzy facts on behalf of others. It's some kind of great act of charity, but most of the time that act of hiding is what we're scared to see in ourselves.
One more again?
We didn't care about that stuff, because why would we? We were more focused on how much of Mother's problems we could fit in our mouths. It was Mother who thought she had to do the most, because if she wasn't doing her best, then she thought she was letting us down. Sound like anyone you know?
Sure is all rape. Damn it.
Anyway, the reason she went to Dryads was because Jews gave black people credit when other places didn't. God bless them.
Sure, you're the hand down, they different person. That's something.
Mother didn't need no hand-me-down dignity. She had plenty of pride. Where do you think we got it from?
You realize she and daddy have a problem, right?
Yeah, but isn't that noble? A woman who stands by her man? Kept our home together, at least.
The word carcinogenic comes to mind. Bad as those cigars Dad used to help manufacture.
Poor Daddy.
Poor Daddy. Poor Mother. All the indignity she had to wear, much more ill-fitted than any anguish she could suffer.
I don't believe that.
Well, sure, that's on you. You don't know what it's like to be big brother at home. You ever thought that maybe I intentionally kept you behind the curtain?
Excuse me?
Yeah, Mona Lisa, you live in a bubble.
Are you serious? What are you saying right now? Our mother just died and you're accusing me of what? Being removed?
Being protected. How many girls do you know like you? You're special, and I'm gonna take some credit where it's due. This is a hard world for ladies with your features. Not quite brown, not quite beige, bouncy curls, sweet bright eyes. Where are you going?
I like to think I belong right here in the 7th Ward, Tony. Am I wrong? All different colors here, even family, mixed from the jump.
You do, that's what I'm saying, you do.
But
due to Daddy's shenanigans, I was the one to step up. You know how many stupid boys I had to shoo away from you, keep you on track so you can live your dream?
what does that even have to do with
It's an example, sis. It's just an example. You got to have your head in the clouds. Dream bigger than this neighborhood and beyond. And I had to live in reality.
crisp creases, fresh and clean?
That's right.
So it was you who kept Nelson Villavasso out of the house when he was trying to take me to get a Pandora snowball freshman year.
He wasn't good enough for you.
You always say that, huh?
It's always true.
Meanwhile, the son, the golden boy, gets to run around dating every girl in school.
Mona Lisa, St. Aug is all boys. What you mean I was dating every girl in school?
You were at St. Aug for a day, singular.
Huh?
You tossed that scholarship out for one at Xavier Prep.
Oh yeah? What was that about?
It wasn't a what, it was a who.
So? Oh.
Yeah, oh is right.
All those pretty girls giggling and petty skirts.
I guess St. Aug had a little too much testosterone for your taste.
I remember Mother would make the ugliest faces at me when she saw those butterflies on my neck.
God, leaving their mark on the baseball champion. Meanwhile, you wouldn't even let me date.
I had been in enough locker rooms to know I had to get those dudes away from my room 6.
You were the prize in those high school halls, that's for sure.
You gotta know how to pony, like Pony Maroney.
Hold up. Wilson Pickett or Chris Kenner's blues?
Wilson was the man and Chris sang it sweet like cane syrup, but no one can twist it like Tony.
Land of 1,000 dances blares. Tony does some jock cool guy moves which actually come off a little goofy. Think Will Smith in The French Prince of Bel-Air.
Do it baby like you do in the 60s.
The 60s and 70s, the 90s, what's your point?
You graduated high school.
Hold up. Shh. A little mystery never hurts. Besides, you're right. If you think Pickett belongs in my vernacular, I think it does. Let it be.
How dare you be so smart?
Our dialogue line with R&B's, Wilson Pickett, Mother with us, what's the difference?
And that's the artist's storytelling.
And with that, I'm gonna finish this verse because it articulates oh so clearly how the Xavier prep girls used to watch me walk.
Mona Lisa mimes pitching a baseball to Tony. Tony adjusts an imaginary helmet, swipes a toe over an imaginary home plate, swings and hits an imaginary home run.
Twisting the alley with long tall Sally, twisting with Lucy, doing number 2.
Yeah, we get it, Mr. Big Cheese on campus.
It was all right. We made out okay, all of us.
A partnership of sorts.
I'll give you 25 cents. press and crease my white jeans. That was a deal.
Sure, but I want some of that pan-fried shortening bread. Those little strips of heaven.
Glaze.
Pan-fried shortening bread Mother inherited from her Chapatula's mama. You made the best glaze. Brownies, cakes, even with lemon glaze.
Did I? I think the galette was mostly a beef with a scoop of cane syrup from the Domino sugar.
You're not lying.
Love the way my galette tastes. Put your hands on your hips, let your backbone slip.
Syrupy sweet. That's how I describe our childhood.
End of scene 1. Scene 2, and then there's Daddy. Living area space, settee or small couch with one sitting chair, record player seen on the chest by a wall. Tony and Mona Lisa enter the living area, sit across from each other.
Dost thou protest?
All right, Sister Shakespeare. I'm just saying, rough patches here and there.
Go on.
She plays it on the player, but doesn't play, just continues to talk.
Well, it's only natural for a young man to seek out certain distractions. When I grew out of spoonfuls of molasses, mother wouldn't let me see my girlfriend at the time. Dang, she didn't even let me out the neighborhood. So I met up with a buddy under the hard shutdowns.
That's not a safe place to hang out, Tony.
I know. It was just me and one of the guys from school. He used to drive me home after ball games across town every now and then. He made good grades. He wasn't an idiot.
He was acting like one.
It was so hot out there. Sun beating down on us. So we went to the show house to get some shade.
Meanwhile, where was I?
You were at the sweet shop across the street with all those kids following Miss Anna like a little duck at a pond. So dependent, so needy.
What no good were you up to, Tony?
It was just sharing a joint. You're the one who ratted me out, slimy little kid. Can't you keep your notebook out of other people's business?
Excuse me? We're not doing that. Not in this play.
Okay. Purpose. Got it.
If you'll remember, us little ducks were following Miss Annie at the sweet shop, but Coach Joe was bringing up the rear.
God, that's how mother found out.
That you smelled like a Rastafarian. That definitely didn't help whenever Daddy came home.
Tony takes his belt off and beats the floor.
What kind of family do you think this is? I ain't worked 12 hours to come home to my son doped up in front of my wife and daughter.
Slap.
You can forget about baseball if this is what you want to do to your lungs. Maybe if your nose wasn't up everyone else's ass, you would wake the fuck up.
Slap.
But no, it's going to see my new girlfriend, going to my idiot friend's house, going to smoke marijuana under the fucking shelter.
Slap.
Not in this house, son. Not while I'm alive. You're not going to become some drug addict like the ones in Mississippi who get paid in heroin instead of money.
Tony's frozen, hinged at the waist. Mona looks at her brother like he's a cracked piece of glass.
Tony, I'm so sorry. What should I have done? You shouldn't have been hanging around that crowd, but Daddy took it too far. It was too much overkill.
It's cool. It was a time, right? And he did teach me the lesson. He just wanted me, us, to have a lot of tomorrows. A future built on hard work, good skills, clean, and wholesome living.
Can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
What's wrong?
I wasn't right, Daddy. I should have done something.
You don't remember? You did do something.
I did.
Mona Lisa, the only reason he stopped was because of your screaming and crying. And he never hit me like that.
Because you never gave him a reason to.
Daddy's home. Daddy's arm trained World War II rules.
And that's when you knew you had to grow up.
What do you mean?
You just became solemn. I clung to Mother's apron, but you had to be a man for Sergeant's orders. We stayed partners, but you ironed your own khakis from then on.
I only let you because you wanted to feel useful. You were bad at it.
Tony, stop lying.
The world doesn't protect little boys, so yeah, I had to be a man.
All grown up in a single summer.
That was also the summer Daddy and Mother argued in the kitchen for longer than normal.
I didn't like that at all. But Daddy's home, Daddy's voice gets to be the loudest.
No. You can't talk to me like that.
I mean, she wasn't the one who had to go work in a cigar factory all damn week. The least she could do was prepare him a home-cooked meal. This place is disgusting. Mess, dusty everywhere. How hard is it to take care of a goddamn house, woman.
Stop.
And don't make those kids go to that nasty quarter. That's not a place to bring children. Don't you have any sense, or are you too stupid to understand? Huh?
Stop talking to mother like that.
Oh, Daddy didn't like that.
Slap.
Do it again. Slap me across the other cheek.
Tony, don't.
I don't care anymore. You want to hit me? Hit me. This is the legacy you want to leave on your family. Go ahead. But it is with you. Because this is not that kind of play.
Daddy just sort of melted after that.
Mother huggers.
And I wasn't afraid anymore.
You think of it, Dad invented being so fresh and so clean.
When he wasn't being a mean drunk on Friday nights.
I'm serious.
I'm listening.
He's the one who starched, pressed, and creased for work every day. Never missed a day of work all his life.
And what sense did that make? Creasing up khaki pants just to get ash and must on him working at a cigar factory?
It wasn't about sense, Mom. It's the principle. Dad was a master carpenter, plumber, tile layer, electrician, and just damn knowledgeable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but he was blue collar, Tony. And you and me are not. Why would he feel like pressed pants would matter?
Because.
The way I see it, as a writer, I don't waste words. Poetry is about selection of focus. All that time he spent starching chinos, he could have been, I don't know, working on himself, like emotionally.
Oh, because therapy was all the rage back then.
I'm just saying, priorities, right?
Daddy's never missed a day of work for long years in the cigar factory. Thousands, if not millions, of cigars rolled, sealed, and delivered courtesy of him.
I used some of the wooden crates he built for a makeshift nightstand once.
Oh, yeah. He built those crates at the port of embarkation, Army Commando. It's closed mid-1950s, but Daddy would not leave Orleans Parish. So he switched to designing and constructing boxes from new ship propellers, and since you know Edwards Engineering never lost one, even those ocean-going ones shipped to Australia.
Tony is suddenly beaming with pride. He gathered his father's vast and potent influence on him. But he's also spaced out for a second.
Come on, don't lose the thread, Tony.
He wasn't creasing his pants just for himself, Mona Lisa. He was bringing his syrupy sweetness to work.
I'm sorry, you said what?
His molasses. All of his military experience. He had to show his white superiors what he stood for.
Not that they cared.
Well, it wasn't just about that. All of his black co-workers, all the black factory workers that would succeed him, they were all a part of it. He had to show everyone that he was part of the texture of the fabric of something brilliant and regal and proud. He wasn't rich, but actually he was, just not how people think. He understood that sticky sweet cane syrup for generations before it happened. He gave me that. I gotta be grateful. Starch, crease, ready for action. Ready to do something so fucking marvelous you can't even comprehend or envision.
Huh.
They watch a metaphorical meteor shoot across the sky. Tony sings Wilson Pickett while dancing.
Oh, that, I like it like that, do that jerk, watch me work.
Okay, yeah, working it always makes perfect sense now.
Right.
He would be so proud of you right now.
Us. He would be proud of us. And mother too, of course.
Want to take a walk on the levee for old time's sake?
I love you, sister. I got that.
Pack?
I enlisted.
The army? Are you serious?
Oh, not the army.
Thank God. I mean, following Daddy's footsteps, sure, but do your own thing.
And that is exactly why I'm going to be a Marine.
What?
I'll leave for Camp Pendleton tomorrow.
Jesus, where is that?
California.
That's a whole other time zone. Will you call?
Of course, partner.
Give me the address so I can send you some letters. A poem or two if you're lucky.
Hey.
The Marines, huh?
Huh? You don't think I can do it?
Oh, I know you can. I just wonder if this is really about what you want or if it's to one-up Daddy.
Can't both things be true?
Just call, okay? I'm gonna miss you to the moon and back. You know that, right?
Yeah. You'll be all right. You got your friends, your notebooks.
But not Mother. And now not you.
No, I'm always there for you. For Mondays on for
Red beans and rice.
cane syrup or your late for dessert.
Mona Lisa goes over to the record player. A and the Wilson Pickett song plays. They sing along and they dance as if it were a party.
How do it? Wow, do it.
Twist in the alley with long tall Sally. Twisting with Lucy, doing over Tootsie.
Music dies down and the song stops. They collapse in their seats, looking at one another. Tony walks away, and Mona Lisa has a beat alone. Everything's going to change again, and she's bracing herself. 3 deep breaths.
He's something, isn't he? He was my rock. High school is a trial for most girls. Not having him around hurt my heart, but he was a man on a mission.
End of scene 2. Scene 3, he gone. Mona Lisa and Tony are each at a desk, writing to each other. Tony returns. He and Mona are communicating via letters.
Hey, partner.
Hey, sis.
The news is something serious.
I'm okay.
This war in Vietnam isn't exactly a popularity contest, by the way.
I'm good. I'm a survivor.
Is there a place to call long distance? Tony,
Sorry, we've been in the field. Foolish shit.
I'm glad to hear from you. Enjoying a hot sausage po' boy stateside.
Oh, you are wrong for that.
I want to write you a poem.
Go ahead.
Should it be happy or sad or something in between?
Tony faces up stage.
Tony! Anthony Lewis, answer me!
End of scene 3. Scene 4, hot sausage prom night.
I didn't hear from him for 3 weeks. I threw up at the prom. Something bad happened. I could feel it. Like the sense one gets before a big storm comes in from the Gulf. Tony, write back, goddammit! Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb. Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now, and at the hour of our death. Amen. Please, God, protect my sweet brother.
Mona Lisa picks up the telephone, calls unsuccessfully, keeps trying, then connects with her brother. Tony on the other line, they sit side by side but miles apart.
Hey, where's my poem?
God, Anthony, is it really you, sweetheart? You're okay. You're okay, aren't you?
Three wounds from front rounds. But they patched me up in Hawaii, so you know we good. Semper Fi, sis. It's always faithful. So thank you for your faith in me.
Sweet Jesus.
You sound like our mother.
I'm just so glad you're okay. I made my fancy dress for our prom night. Everybody loved it, even my date. Then, I don't know, I kept wondering if I would see you there as if you were still in the 7th ward. Then I felt woozy. I threw up my delicious hot sausage po' boy at the prom. Oh! I think it was a premonition.
Of course you do.
I'm serious. I'm a black Creole girl. I could easily add clairvoyant to that business card.
Mona Lisa Saloy, anyone who eats as much hot sausage as you do is bound to get sick from it from time to time.
I don't think it's funny. Okay, yeah, I like meat, but meat don't always like me too much.
Hold up, wait. I'm having a premonition. You're laughing and you're about to send me a poem.
Well, I don't know about Hawaii, but I do know about the 7th Ward. 7th Ward kisses the Mississippi where Esplanade begins and sachets her bottom at Lake Pontchartrain. 7th Ward is home to hucklebucks or snowballs on a hot summer day. 7th Ward is home to backyard parties of shucking oysters or suckling mud bugs. 7th Ward is life, is jazz, it's blues, R&B groups like Chocolate Milk. So, what do you think? That's just the beginning, so don't get too critical. It's gonna go on to talk more about the music we listen to, the jazz greats like Jelly Roll Morton and Sidney Bechet. Do you see the vision? Can you hear it?
Nah, that's something, Mona Lisa. That's really something.
It's called 7th Ward, in case you couldn't tell.
You made it sound, I don't know, really capture me.
You think so?
Makes me more homesick.
You're homesick? I don't believe you. Traveling the world and emphasis on the order and clean cut. Sounds like you found a calling, bro.
It's been an experience to see those far off places. Hawaii is beautiful. I do have to concede that it's just a problem. It's not home.
Does this mean?
I'm coming back stateside with 2 Purple Hearts, might I add.
Hey, the partnership is back on, if it was ever on pause.
Tony thanks him slowly, sighs. End of scene 4. Scene 5, Hallmark Memories. Mona Lisa fixes up the place for his return. She waits for a couple beats. Tony comes back on, but no Mona Lisa.
Hey now, big brother, where are you? Thought you'd be home by now. Ooh, baby, I'm fixing up your room again. Some Xavier Peplum are setting up a welcome home dinner. Everyone's getting excited.
Sis, I'm gonna have to kick it in California for a minute.
Bro, really?
Don't make me feel bad.
But why? This is your home.
It's too young to say.
I'm not the little girl you said goodbye to.
Really? Because you're acting like you.
There you go, off on your lonely island. Come home.
It's not my home right now. You just let me be for a while, okay?
Tony hangs up the call.
Hello? What is up with him? He wasn't all sunshine when he came back, and he didn't come home to the 7th Ward. He settled in Compton, California to decompress. I think he had to blow off steam from the war, and it's not like this country welcomed Vietnam vets with open arms. He had 2 Purple Hearts, sure, but at the time, anger was the only real inheritance of war.
Mona Lisa writes him a letter to Tony.
We missed you at Christmas. I hope this is still a good address. Love, Mona Lisa.
Tony takes a phone call.
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
just checking in.
Okay.
How's California? They turning you into a surfer, dude?
Mona Lisa, be for real. Think I'm gonna take up surfing over swimming? Well, I did surf.
It was a joke.
Uh,
Hey, I wrote a poem. Want to hear it?
I only got it.
Oh, well, I could let you go.
Mail it to me or something, huh?
Sure. You're okay, right?
Yes, good God.
Don't yell at me, Anthony.
I'm not.
You did. You just raised your voice.
I just don't have any patience for dumb jokes about surfers. That's not real.
I'm just making conversation.
It's so annoying.
Oh, I'm annoying.
And always were.
Why are you pushing me away?
I'm not.
Tony.
What? I'm not okay.
I'm listening.
1 minute, I'm dodging DC. Vietnamese bodies falling like bowling balls. And then I'm back in the US. And it's like they don't. No one has a fucking clue what it's like over there. You know, I saw a lady at Walgreens picking out a birthday card yesterday, and her face was all scrunched up. And she kept picking up cards, changing her mind. Like, she was a bit about a damn Hallmark birthday card. She was distressed. Mona Lisa kept making those stressed out noises like an alley cat. I wanted to say, America's sons are dying, lady. Does it really fucking matter which goddamn card you choose? Because Joy Ritter from St. Louis didn't even get a 26th birthday. Ray Mark from Atlanta didn't get his 23rd. Skinny little Marvin Diaz from Port Arthur didn't get to turn 20. Of course, I didn't want her to think I'm crazy, so I kept it all that to myself. She's the one having a panic attack over Hallmark cards, and I'm worried about seeming crazy.
Anthony, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I had no idea.
So I got about 2 dozen of those Hallmark cards, and wrote happy birthday to all my friends I lost. Stayed up till 2 or 3 in the morning trying to match the personality to the card, and get the perfect message on it for them, and I just burned them all in the trash can downtown. The only way they were going to get to them was if they went up in smoke.
Did it help?
No. A little, yeah. I guess a little.
I'm proud of you. God bless your heart, Anthony. If you were home, I could help. We could talk. Maybe it would be better.
Mona Lisa, I can't go back to the second one right now. I need to be somewhere else.
Tony faces upstage. He hangs up, Lights on Mona Lisa only.
Anthony's decision to stay in California did not alleviate my worrying. You see, my understanding of my home is linked to Anthony, my Tony. It was painful to feel that change, but I felt his deep need to exist, even to grow separately, and I honored that. It would have been sinful to resent him for following his path. It also would have been impossible.
Tony turns back around with new confidence. In a mirror, Mona Lisa turns away. Tony making dance moves as looking in a mirror, happy with himself.
Ain't nobody don't best me. Love the way you stare at me. I'm just so fresh and clean.
He dances. He's more graceful than before. He's completely in rhythm, not just with music, but with an inner decisiveness to be completely and utterly himself.
Wait, I can make money doing this? Oh, I can make a lot of money doing this.
He dances some more. Mona Lisa watches with love and admiration.
And he did, dancing the swing, the twist, the jerk.
Sexy moves, baby.
Mona Lisa averts her eyes.
Mother Mary, pray for him.
Tony flourishes, then comes down to earth. Mona Lisa applauds graciously. Tony on the phone again with his sister, and to the audience as direct address.
And then I became a famous club dancer. What, you can't jazz it up a little?
There's something beautiful about your dancing that will never reach my poetry.
What you mean?
I write to make a monument for a feeling, or a place, or, yes, a brother. When you dance, you're it. Artist, art, there's no distinction. You're not communicating a feeling. You are the feeling.
Exactly. And that's how I built my career on love dance.
You might have been the MJ of a couple clubs in Compton, but would you like to tell them what really ended up happening after your adventures in California?
I got a AA degree, trained, and became a construction project manager.
Building things, carrying on daddy's molasses.
Sis, they got me running energy plans for whole new subdivisions in the West.
You deserve this.
I'm using the money I'm making to help fund Puget Sound Energy's veteran program.
What's that mean?
They aid vets with crises, stop suicides, get some better benefits.
You're changing lives.
I found it,
What?
my legacy.
There's a long beat. This should seem like the end.
And Mona Lisa, I found someone to share it with me. She's really something. I know I've said that before, but this time I really, really mean it.
I'm so proud of you. And I was. He treated his love right. Drawn bubble baths, hot dinners waiting with her favorite glass of vino. Years went by in this domestic bliss. Then decades, interrupted only by Hurricane Katrina, which divided time in the 7th Ward and all of New Orleans.
You're coming to stay with us.
I don't want to be a bother.
You're coming to stay with us. It's not an offer, it's a statement of fact.
I lost everything in the flooding. Best big brother. Best big brother.
So,
Nothing.
yes, working on a home.
Best big brother. Sweet hubby. Baseball buddy to many. 7th Ward trained. What do you think? What do you feel?
Mona Lisa knows what's coming.
Ain't nobody don't pass me, I'm just so fresh and clean. Love the way you stare at me, I'm just so fresh and clean. As the years go by, it's less dancing, less construction, and more barbecue, swinging golf.
Nothing wrong with that. You deserve it. You deserve all this, big bro. Now, serve me some more of that gumbo that you make oh so well. Even now, your clothes are still pressed and pretty. That's how you dress for this kind of play.
One more again?
Fine, but I'm serious about that gumbo.
Outcast.
I'm waking up out of my slumber, feeling like Rollo. So I know it's showtime and it's about no money. Kiki Shepherd, with about a over the leopard.
Ain't nobody don't pass me, I'm just so fresh and clean, so fresh and so clean, clean. Love the way you stare at me, I'm just so fresh and clean.
End of play. Do we have time for questions?
Thank you.
And does anybody have a question for Fernando?
What you got, Justin?
What drew you to do this? I guess what informed you to
So we workshopped, like a generative workshop just with some people who signed up back in June. And Megan and Latoya and One Book One World asked if I wanted to present something for this festival. And I was drawn to Zone for Tony for a couple reasons. The brother-sister relationship, like I think there's a lot of love stories in media, but like family love stories or just unconventional love stories are what I'm drawn to personally. And there's something really satisfying about how this family is coming of age, kind of growing up and out of their neighborhood, and also the country itself is having this reconciling the Vietnam War. So yeah, that was the thinking behind it. Anything else?
Not familiar with the poem, I'm just wondering, are you telling this is beautiful, thank you. Are you did you structure it based on details of the poem purely, or how much of that did you then create your own poem?
Well, I actually worked very closely with the poet who's here, so if you want to come up, you're welcome.
So I guess my question is, how much did you expand upon it, and how much was it grounded in the poem?
I think it's a pretty faithful adaptation. The dramatic structure that I applied to it. Come on up, where'd she go? She's coming up. But we worked on it together to see like what would fit where. There were some issues with the chronology, because obviously if you're in a poem, you can kind of jump around, and for an audience it was a little more, we had to figure out.
We never we talked on the phone, and we emailed, and we texted, and swapping revisions. But thank you. My eyes were leaking half the time. Let's give them a big hand. Thank you. And for our actors, and for the directions, and for Megan Holt, and the words of music, and One Book One New Orleans. When she says literacy and community, she means it. So I hope you support both organizations. But I'm going to give this back to him. So do people have another question?
For either of us or any of the actors on stage?
One thing I can tell you, he kept religiously to the poem. So I feel we did have to change some of the music.
Music, yeah. But Outkast is in there.
Because overall, but we went into the 60s. And you love Wilson Pickett. So.
I do. I'm a fanatic now. But I love that Outkast is in there. There's an essay by Keith Slayman called "The Art of Storytelling," which was referenced in there. And his grandmother worked in was like a chicken gutting factory. So he talks about his grandmama's stink as like something that's like I don't know, like a residue passed down, but as a point of pride. So I kind of adapted that to be Tony and Mona Lisa's dad's molasses. That was what I was going for.
It's sweet. It works for me. What do y'all think? Thank you so much for coming and support the Words of Music Festival and One Book One World. Thank you.
And buy Mona Lisa's book.
Yeah.